We live, Nita.
What's up,
mute.
everybody? You're not. We're having some technical difficulties, y'all. I'm so sorry. We've been trying to get it together, and it's still not together. So, Moochie, do you want me to try to?
You can start. I'm coming. I'm right.
Want to
I'm
come
here.
back? You want? Should I try to start it?
Don't. You
all
can't
from the
restart it.
beginning?
We on. Let's go.
Okay. All
Let's
right.
go.
Tag y'all. I'm sorry. Well, hey Zia, hey Daria, hi Tina. Thank y'all so much for your patience and everything. You know we were supposed to get on here at 1, but it is okay because we are here. And if you don't see it live, then make sure you catch the replay as many times as you need to. Okay, Moochie, I see you.
All right, I'm in.
Yes. Great. Okay.
What's up? Hello, Savannah.
Hello. Yes, honey. We are here. We are down here. I want y'all to like the video up for both me and Moochie's channel. We are both streaming simultaneously. So go on over, hit them like buttons.
Hit the shit.
We're gonna get into some things. The only thing that we had on the docket today was just kind of reacting to this interview, but because it may be copyrighted because it's FoxSoul and it's YouTube or something, we're not going to play it. We're going to listen to it, but we're not going to play the video, the visual. So hey, Rashonda. Yes.
Hey.
Yes, like both streams. We do very much appreciate it. Did y'all check out our hot topics last night?
Yeah, it was a good one.
We had a good time last night, so make sure you check that out as well. We touched on this just a little bit, but we got to see how our brother is going to double down in a different interview that he's supposed to be cleaning up his mess. But basically, he just had his wife, Kimmi, defending his indefensible behavior, in my opinion. So, we're going to talk about it. Yes. Baby,
I'm ready to talk about it.
Hot Topics was fire, y'all. We had a good time.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Savannah.
Thank you, Savannah.
That was sweet. Hey, Samara. Thank y'all for coming on in here. So, yes, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, let's just get into it. It's not a long video. I think it's like 15 minutes. So, Moochie, what I want you to do is like let me know if you want me to stop it so we can address an issue.
Okay.
Or if you want to just listen to the whole thing and then we kind of address it afterwards. Okay.
Okay, so just let me know when you're going to start it and I'm ready.
Oh, they're saying there's no sound. What about you, Moochie?
I don't hear anything.
Y'all already know how I come. But before we get into the tea, we're going to take a small trip down memory lane to what sparked the love between you two. So let's start with you, Kimmi. What sparked the love between you two?
Actually, we were introduced. We were introduced for the purposes of meeting each other. And he was flipping houses and I was wanting to get into real estate. And so we did a lot of conversation about, investment properties and that kind of thing. And in that time frame, we became really good friends. And then I thought he was kind of cute. And I trolled him a little bit on social media. Had a couple lunches, and then I guess that's all she wrote.
With that lady husband.
Mm-hmm. No, we done had this conversation a long time.
All right, so listen, Kimmi. You've been very transparent with your journey with breast cancer. Why was it important for you to use your platform to share this journey?
Initially, it actually wasn't. Maurice we had a long conversation where he felt like I needed to kind of look at the bigger picture. I can be a pretty good recluse, to be perfectly honest. And when I was first diagnosed, I kind of wanted to go away and take care of whatever I need to take care of. And so after thinking it through, it just made sense with the platform that we have that I can help way more people continuing on the platform than kind of going home and deal with it by myself.
Okay, good. We don't got all the good and warm and fuzzies out the way. Now hit it. This how this gonna go at this point. Maurice, I don't want no backpedaling and no pussy popping, and I don't want no talking in circles as no lawyer. I don't want no politician answers. I want direct answers. Don't baffle me with bullshit. We're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty. Now, Kimmi, we like to give you the opportunity. What you saying?
I'm not that good, you know that.
Okay, well, we're gonna see. Kimmi, I like to give you the opportunity to respond to a headline. A sad case of a man. Love and Marriage Huntsville fans slam Maurice for demanding intimacy while Kimmi goes through chemotherapy. Kimmi, what is your response to the backlash that Maurice has been getting lately?
So here's the thing, like originally, I didn't even watch it. He told me he had an interview with Carlos, and usually I just kind of get the nuts and bolts of it. You know, he was like, well, we did this. He asked me about that, and I didn't do anything. And then when I finally saw stuff just kind of everywhere, I was like, oh my gosh, what did you say? I literally was like, what did you say? And so one of the comments somebody keeps screenshotting around is the fact that I said, let me go see the interview. And people were like, I don't believe she hasn't seen it. And I just got life, like we got stuff. So when I actually did see it, I told him, I said, that was disrespectful. Like the words that you chose were cruel to me. It wasn't protecting me. The irony of the conversation in itself was that if you actually watch the show, I'm the one who initiated the conversation in regards to the fact that the chemo has affected my libido. And I know that affects him and his sexual.
Can you stop?
So he has.
Now, why is she doing all the explanation?
And she admitted it on top of the explanation. She admitted that it sounded crazy.
Yeah, but so she's saying she never heard what he actually said. Is that's what's going on, Nita?
That's what she said. So she said once all the backlash happened, she had to find out exactly what he said. And she was like, it was trash. All the wording that he used was trash. The way he put it out there was trash. And she said the viewers were right. Her words.
Yeah.
Her words, like Zir said, exactly, Moochie. That's crazy. So yes, so she had to hear for her own self, and she's still sitting up here defending him, even though she tells him that you don't protect me. That interview, you did not protect me. She tells him on the show, she says she feels like he protects his first wife and his son more, and he leaves her out there to dry. But she's the one defending him and protecting him.
But he did, though. He did kind of like how
he left her.
He left her basically to fight his battle.
Yes.
I don't think it's right.
Pretty much. And she's more than willingly signing up to do it. Because if it was me, I've been like, you're going to have to hold your own L with this one. You're going to have to, well, I mean, we'll get to it because Claudia did ask. Claudia wanted to make sure. She was like, what do you have to say, Maurice? Because this ain't jiving. This ain't jiving, but we haven't gotten there yet. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
more than willingly participating in defending him when it's not really defensible. So we'll
I feel
keep
like she was doing more of the talking than he should be.
exactly.
She's explaining for him, and I'm not getting that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand that.
what they call it, mansplaining when you be
I mean, I wouldn't say that because she's explaining for him. If he a man, let him talk. Let him talk and let him get his point across. Maybe he's saying this for a reason. So I want to hear what he has to say.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Suburbia. Okay, so Suburbia, maybe you don't watch the show. Okay, so Kimmy is going through the most aggressive form of breast cancer. Now, granted, she makes it look good, but everybody who knows or seen a loved one go through cancer knows that just because I make it look good don't mean it's a walk in the park.
Exactly. I
So
get that part.
she looks good. It might have sounded like she was on her deathbed, but you might as well be. You might as well be. In my opinion, when she's going through, like, she had to go through chemo, and I think which how many weeks, Zia, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say she went through 13 or 14 weeks of chemo. Then she had to go through surgery, get the lump cut out of her breast. Then she had to do radiation. And I think she said that was an even longer process. So just because she makes it look good, it's not a walk in the park. So when I just wanted to, I understand you said it to Moochie, but Moochie is not really familiar with this
With
because,
the show.
yeah, me and Mo, we break these shows.
Y'all cover the show.
Right, right. So, I mean, fighting off the most aggressive form of cancer, um, I mean, just because it's not her deathbed or just because you don't see her like that, it don't mean that she didn't have days where she felt like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially after you getting that treatment. You want her to turn her behind over and toot it over and give you something?
right.
Come
But
on now.
right, he said it seems like to me she wants to please her husband, and she does. That's
Yeah.
why I said, 20 weeks. Okay, Zia got it for me. It was a long time. And chemo is basically like some kind of poison that kind of attacks all of your cells and
Yup, the good and bad.
to try
Hey,
to
Zia.
get rid of the bad stuff and hope that you can recover. You have a good enough immune system that you can recover with the good immune that you have in order to, kind of bounce back from that. So
Right.
just wanted to, yeah, I'm telling you, just because we make it look good don't mean it's so. My aunt made cancer look good as long as she could. She looks beautiful. Kimmy looks fantastic. She does not look like what she's been through. You know how that saying is?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Just saying. So that's not cool. As someone who was sick and had and my spouse take care of me and vice versa, when he was sick to the day he died, that's a no for me. He's dead wrong.
Okay. Hey, Tamika.
Hey, Tamika, I appreciate y'all sentiments. um it's very layered, it's very nuanced. Just because she doesn't look like she's on her deathbed doesn't mean that as well. So I just wanted to come with some of the actual things that she had to go through. And like I said on the show, I didn't see him being a caring, loving, supportive husband. I still saw him, what are you going to do for me? And we'll see. He'll explain it to you out his own mouth. And she is a willing participant. And if she wants to go ahead and do that, that's what I said. Some of these women don't want to be saved. So I'm going to allow her to defend him, her husband. And that's fine with me. You know, if you like it, I love it. But baby, we're not doing it.
I feel like if they was operating as a team
Mhm.
and he was chiming in as she was talking a little more, then I'd feel that way. But maybe she was like, maybe they had that conversation before this interview started, and she was like, "Nah, you lay back, I got this."
Right.
You
Right.
know, maybe he's not. You know, when you're married, somebody sometimes compensates for the other person's things.
True.
Maybe he's not a good public speaker, so
True.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for that.
Girl, but
And
guess
maybe that's why she was speak. Maybe why that's why she was holding down the beginning of this conversation, because when Funky Geneva came on, right,
yeah.
he was letting you know, look, I don't want no backstepping, no uchi popping. You know, come on, look, he was saying it. And he
Be-
was, and he said, "Look, I'm not gonna pussy pop, but I'm gonna put my girl in the front, and she gonna do all the
You
side.
gonna do it.
She gonna run interference for me. I'll say it like
Exactly.
that."
Exactly. But guess what his profession is? He is a lawyer. He's a lawyer.
Oh, so they good for they known arguers.
But he's very known for putting his foot in his mouth, but that's only because
It
he's
ain't
very
the only thing he
misogynistic.
put in his mouth.
Yeah, he's very misogynistic, and you
Mhm.
know it just jumps out. It jumps out at you, and he can't even control it. He can't even control it.
No.
So that's why we are here. So she's trying to run interference, just like you said. She's trying to run interference, and let's see how it sounds. It made her look like a fool to me, but I mean, you know, y'all like y'all little badges, y'all humiliation badges, embarrassed,
I mean,
Never.
huh?
she gotta wear it. It's already out. I mean, she already looking wild. What can
Yeah,
she do at this point but be the cleanup woman, like you said? I
yeah,
mean, I get it, but I get what he's saying too, kind of. But he's very insensitive to me. I'm
right.
sorry. He's
It's
very
just me,
insensitive to
me,
me.
me, me, me.
Hi, Miss T.
Yes, not a jive turkey.
Yeah. Look, she said job turkey. Job time turkey.
Yes, girl. They be wanting them ride or die badges. Them. I'm a suffering, a long suffering girl. The girls love them. Child, you can have them. You can have them, baby. I just don't know. We'll see. But we're about to go ahead and listen to the rest.
Forced me to do one single thing. He has never made me, he has never implied he was going to leave me. So the headlines, in order to get likes and tags, I absolutely get it. But the words that he chose to use throughout that interview, I felt were a bad choice of words in regards to me because it didn't protect me in the words that he chose to use to describe. Like, I think he said, bend over and take it. That's like ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous. And I told him, I said, that was awful. The wording choice was awful.
You know,
I want to jump in and say
Go
something
ahead.
real quick. I was horrified too with some of the language. And spoke about having a situation where it was the reverse. I had a man that had some issues. I want to ask both of you. Kimmi, I want to ask you first, do you feel the pressure? Like if I don't satisfy my man, even when I don't feel good, am I nervous? Do I feel a way about the future of my marriage? And Maurice, if you could take back what you said, would you rephrase it or do you stand on exactly what you said?
So for me, like I said, we filmed it and everything. For Kimmi, I never felt like he was going to leave me. That wasn't the case whatsoever. However, even before our chemo issue came up, we already had conversation about our sex life. We talked about our sex life before we got married. So this is like an honest statement. In Kimmi's world, I had made up in my head 7 days was the limit. Like, I would never make my husband go more than 7 days. I don't care if we're angry. I don't care what's going on. That was always Kimmi's rule in her head. And so in this case, we went about 2 weeks and I was like, ugh. So it was my choice because I know that that's fulfilling for both of us. It's fulfilling for both of us. Like at the end of the day, he's not the only one missing out. I'm missing out because I don't have the same climax. I don't have the same arousal. You know what I'm saying? So I never had that conversation based on the fact that I thought he was going to leave. I know I love my husband and that is a big part of our world. I don't physically hurt. It doesn't hurt me to have sex. It doesn't do that whatsoever. It was just the arousal of the moment and the climax that is very different for me. So I'm just not getting the same fulfillment out of the sexual activity that he was.
We got it. So let's get Maurice in here. Maurice, do you think it was selfish for you to force your wife to suffer through it while she was fighting for her life? Your words.
Your words.
Now, those are my words, and I'm going to own the words that I say. However, you have to take everything into full context. I didn't have knowledge of her suffering. I didn't have knowledge of her rolling over and giving it to me when she didn't want to, right? Or didn't feel the need to. At the end of the day, this is the thing. She surprised the hell out of me on television, talking about, you know what? I'm not getting it. I'm faking it. All that stuff. Like, listen, it's on national TV. So I'm like, oh, really? So you're faking it. This whole time I'm thinking that you're doing it. And it puts everything into context when you watch the television show and then you actually see the interview. Because for me to find out that she's faking it, and then for me to analyze the situation and say, it's admirable for her to do this because, number one, most people that do things for you let you know that they're doing it for you. They don't let you find out later on, oh, wow, you were actually hurting or you were going through something and you were sharing that and you were doing it for me. So, of course, I would change my words and give better context in any type of interview. However, I still play with it.
You don't
do it.
You don't think it was a little cringy to even want to have sex with her while she was going through that? And I ask that because typically if somebody's not feeling well, we don't make them cook. We don't make them wash the dishes. We may not make them take the kids to school, and all of those things are oftentimes considered a wife's duty. You didn't think it would be all right for her to forego that one duty while she was going through this?
See, this is the thing. We weren't doing it on the day she was feeling good. Unless I didn't know that either.
Interesting.
So can you ask?
Wait, Moochie, what you gotta say?
He still think about himself. Like, all right, yeah, I said it. He's not. It's not even like you're getting an apology for the way he said it.
Right.
He's owning it. He's letting you know, this is what I said. I could have said it a little better, but it's already out here, so it's nothing much to do. My wife gonna do the talking for me now. I'm just saying. That's how I'm seeing it.
Right.
That's my opinion on it.
And have you heard of that saying where you can't pour from an empty cup? And
Yeah.
I feel like Kimmi, God bless her. She's getting through it. And, I hope that there are no setbacks. I don't want to speak anything but life and life's abundantly over her. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, she needs her own rest, recovery. I've heard people say that just the drug itself drains you, like you barely want to stand up, like your legs barely want to function for you. And I just don't feel like he's hearing her. Like she's saying, I'm not getting any pleasure out of it. My arousal system, my libido isn't doing. What more do you need to hear? I'm so confused when I'm sitting up here because Miss T said it very clearly. Kimmi is an excellent communicator, and if you don't understand what you're saying, what she's saying, you're not trying to hear her.
No,
and that's what it feels like to me. It's crazy, so disappointing.
I feel like he's insensitive to her whole illness, and
right.
That's the sad part about it.
Right. I mean, I understand that you're not going through it, but there's a level of empathy that you have to kind of possess. Like, just like how you may not, if somebody was unalived and, For instance, Regina King. You remember when that whole situation happened with her son?
Yeah, she was messed up, yo. She couldn't talk.
Right. And you don't have to experience that to understand that there is a level of empathy that you have to have in order to relate, give her what she needs, the space, the whatever. And I just it's wild. Like he is like really wilding on this TV screen, and it's like he's doubling down, and it's not even, hey, Candy Love, it's not even making any sense to me. Girl, yes, red flags.
I kind of wish we had a male's point of view with this stuff. I really do for today with this, because we were seeing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We was talking about a lot, and the conversation went really deep last night. So we might need a male point of view on this.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have Brillo or Lamont. I would love to have like that level of, I don't want to sound like I'm backhanding somebody else with the compliment, but I'd rather have a little bit more maturity, a level of maturity when we do have these conversations with, a male's perspective. So take that how you want to take it.
I don't want a caveman to come on here and be talking either, saying like she's supposed to please a man. I don't want to hear nothing like that either.
Exactly.
She's okay. Wait. We got a male's point of view in the chat. Can you highlight RC's comment, please?
Absolutely. Okay, so it says, in my view, when you're married and your spouse is dealing with something like cancer, you have to put your spouse's needs over your own. Very selfish behavior from this guy.
Okay, so now we got a mature male's point of view that's weighing both sides of this issue.
Exactly.
And he's saying he's displaying selfish behavior. So it is what it is.
Exactly. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. Yes.
She should try to make it Maurice was a prize she won over his ex.
Yeah.
This man has the most terrible mentality. Him and his brother.
Oh, girl.
All right, I don't watch this show. Let me just put a disclaimer out here. I do not watch this show.
Right.
I only hear little tidbits of stuff when Nita do their reviews. I'll come in and sit in for a little bit, but I really don't know these people on this show.
Right.
But I'm just speaking from experience, what I've seen with my brother, because his wife suffered from cancer and she passed away, and my brother took care of her to the day she passed. She took care of her, and he took her to all her chemo things. And matter of fact, up until the night that she passed away, he was prepping her to go in hospice.
Wow.
And she never made it there. So with this, he's a clown. I seen somebody take care. I seen somebody take care not once but twice. My brother and my father. So he's a clown. That's why I can speak up on this.
Yeah.
I seen somebody take care of their loved one, their spouse or whatever. Hey, baby.
Hey, I am blessed.
I watched it and I just feel all three Scott brothers are pieces of doo-doo. Thank you.
Period.
I am blessed. Pieces of doo-doo.
I think it's almost done. I think we have 10 more minutes. So
all right, let's listen to the 10 more minutes of this train wreck of a show.
Right. Okay.
I asked you earlier, would you rephrase anything that you said? Because it seemed your wife just revealed that it was your words, right? And how you said things, bend over and take it. I've done this many times. I've said stuff and it's like, I wish I would have said it like this. Would you rephrase anything? Would you do over, or are you like, no, I meant it exactly?
Definitely. Anytime my wife feels like she's not protected by whatever I do, that's my job. Mm-hmm. That's why God gave her to me, is to make sure that I have a covering and protection over her at all times. And if she feels like my words are crass, then I'll change my words. I'm not one of those people that say, man, I said what I said. Now, mind you, that's a great quote and everything else that goes around social media. I said what I said. I don't even know where that came from. But I'm
Candy.
not one of those people. It came from
Candy on the Housewives of Atlanta. She said it on one of the original.
But I'm not one of them. I said what I said. I said what I said. Hold on. Let me say it better the next time.
So I know y'all probably been through this, and we know Martell and Melody have gone through this. The fans have been voicing their opinion about Maurice's remarks, and many of them are saying, you know, Kimmi should leave the relationship. Obviously, you're not going nowhere, but has all this scatterbutt from the fans affected you guys' relationship in any way?
Can you stop it?
I actually really don't.
Can you stop it for a second? Now, I don't think she should leave him. I feel like they should go for counseling. This is not grounds to leave a marriage.
Right.
This is something that a relationship takes work. And if y'all both willing to do the work, do the work.
Yeah. I mean, they've been married. They're still very in their new stage of marriage. I think they've only been married for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So it's very new. And no, it's not horrible. But at the same time, it's just up to y'all. I mean, I don't feel like he doesn't even want to go to counseling. Like I said, you remember I told you last night, Moochie, in the Hot Topics, that he said in order for him to go to marriage counseling, he had to get sex twice a day. Not once, twice a day.
That's the negotiate. It's like they negotiating to go to counseling.
Yes.
So if he gets sex twice a day, then they'll go for counseling.
Yes.
You know what? I can't with him. I can't with him.
It's very ugly and mature. And I see you're trying. You're trying, Moochie. You trying to give him a lifeline and all that good stuff. But you know, sometimes it is a character flaw. So sometimes he doesn't seem receptive to even her communication. He doesn't really seem to be receptive to therapy. Those Scott brothers, they kind of refuse therapy. If a therapist takes
more than one of them.
Yes. You remember she just said it was 3.
I heard I am blessed say that, but
3. It's only 2 on the show though. But it's 3 of them, and we've seen them all, and they're all doo-doo. And like I said, he was like a fan favorite at first because he still had his mask on. He hadn't let the mask is down now. So this is the real
down and thrown in the corner somewhere.
This is the real Maurice, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, child. Yeah, let me listen. Yep, it was a marriage retreat. Yes. But I still feel like he'll probably still have the same beliefs, or he'll probably still have the same manipulation tactics to get more sex just to go to therapy. When I feel like that is something like that feels elementary to me. That feels like I might have to talk to my teenage son about how you need to treat me, but not a 45, almost 50-year-old man. Like that doesn't compute for me. So I just don't. I don't know. So yeah, it's a huge character flaw. And I don't think what's that? Dr. Francis talked about that, and he still doesn't get it. And then if the therapist takes the woman's side, whether the woman is right or not, they refuse. They don't listen to it. They don't even want to hear it, even if it comes from another man.
Wow.
So, do with that what you will, but I don't know if therapy is going to help because it doesn't even feel like he's receptive. Even when you have 3 people, Funky, I think they're both like on the queer spectrum. I think him and Claudia is a woman, and she's trying to talk and level, and it still feel like it's going over his head. He like dodging it like the Matrix. I'm just saying, I don't know. He won't allow her to chastise his son, and I don't think that she should, because guess what? That's going to exert her energy. That's your son.
The son is a little narcissist like his father.
No, he's still a good boy, but he wants him to be underneath his teaching so he probably can
So
teach.
he's a narcissist in the making.
Yes. That's why I said he needs to go on back with his mama. I'm sorry.
And
He don't want to do nothing anyway. His idea of spending time with his son is taking him to school and picking him up.
Oh, and so basically she has cancer, and she's basically tending to the boy every day anyway, even in her illness.
Yes.
Oh no, he would be going back with the mother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't do it. I'm too sick to do that.
He would have
Especially me not helping me. You're not even gonna help this kid with his homework?
Right. Trifling. I can't stand Maurice. No good. Right. He's just crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know. Make it make sense. Kimmy's son said it was the first time he ever saw his mom cry. Girl, I'm telling you, it's that thing. They want us to be strong Black women, but there's no.
I'm tired of that narrative.
Yeah, that's not
I'm tired
good.
of that narrative. I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want a partner where I could build with, things of that nature. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. I'm independent, but sometimes people are forced into a situation where they have to sink or swim. So
Right.
it's either fight or flee.
Mhm.
And me, I'm the type of person I'm gonna get down, get busy, and do what I have to do. That's how I was when all of this was going on with me. So
Yes.
I'm not. I don't know.
Right.
This guy, I have a problem with him. I don't think what is right. I don't think what he's saying is right. I don't think what he's saying is right. I feel like she's trying to she's basically she's trying to, how can I say this? I want to say it the right way before I don't want to make any. I feel like she's trying to recorrect this whole scenario because she doesn't want her husband to be seen in a bad light, and I get it.
Right.
But she did all of that, and he still basically threw mud back on the floor after she mopped it.
Right.
Look, I'm just saying, that's what I got from it. Stop me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, and I'm not one of those like throwing the mud right back on the floor after she cleaned up the mess.
And then you can see, if you look at her expression on her face, it's just like blank, because like, I don't want to give too much, and then people
I don't want to let nobody know that I'm really appalled at his behavior right now.
Exactly. So it's just, it's painful to watch. To be honest, it's just painful for me. I'm just like,
I ain't even watched the show. This already looked like a train wreck to me.
that don't love me. Like, they love me one day and they hate me the next. You know, I really care what Kimmi says. If Kimmi says it offends her, guess what? I'll be changing. If Monster says it offends him, Jalen, any of the kids, guess what? I'll change. But
I think
It's a moment in time being on, television that we have to take a lot of comments, whether we agree, don't agree. I usually take most of them with a grain of salt most of the time. However, I think, some of our fans to me just go overboard, like really for real. But in general, I felt like a lot of them were warranted, that the communication, it was crass. I mean, it was crass and, non-protecting, disrespectful. A lot of those comments were on point.
And I gotta say this as the woman here, and I'm sorry, Al, I know you haven't had a chance to say anything. I still haven't heard him rephrase it in a kinder way right here on the show. I've been trying to give you the opportunity because I feel like your wife is protecting you more than you're protecting her. I feel like she's protecting your rep, and I'm like, Kimmi, I should have said it like this. I'm sorry. And it's like, I feel so bad for her. Like, I can't imagine going through what she's going through. You saying that, and then me asking you twice if you would rephrase it, and you said, yeah, but you really haven't. It seems like it's more about you than her still, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, and you can tell me shut the fuck up if you want to. It's just my opinion,
No, I understand where you're coming from. And what I said is, you got to get it in the context. I'm not going to rephrase. You said, would I rephrase it? Yes, I would rephrase it. But at the end of the day, we're talking about this because I've already said something, right? There's no taking it back. There's no ringing that bell. That bell's rung. That's why we're here. At the end of in the future, what I will do is I'll make sure that my wife feels protected. I don't feel any different about the situation. At the end of the day, my wife did something that most people won't do. Simply, she put her personal feelings aside. I never wanted her to do anything that was uncomfortable. I wanted her to stop working. I wanted her to put everything to the side and let's get better. So when she's doing things to find a sense of normalcy in life, guess what? I don't know, because I'm not inside of her, what makes her feel good, what doesn't make her feel good, when she's feeling good, when she's not. So at the end of the day, you know what?
Maurice, I feel that. Maurice and Kimmi, let's switch gears a little bit. This season on Love and Marriage Huntsville, we are seeing you all open up about the struggles of co-parenting, which is very commendable, I must say. But let me ask you a question. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you two are facing when it comes to co-parenting? And question number 2, how are you working through it?
Our difference of opinions in what raising kids. Period. Like the amount of responsibilities, I think for me right now is the amount of responsibilities that I feel children should have, and us as parents should enforce. And I think he's a little more lax in that particular area. And so it causes us a little, head bump trying to raise a teenager.
Okay, I have to say something about that. Now, listen, I've been raised in a house full of boys and girls, and I know for a fact that in our community, they make the women do the bulk of the work. There is not a lot that is expected of boys.
What do you mean, like the bulk of the work?
Washing the dishes, cleaning the house, taking care of the things, not doing the laundry. The boy may have to take out some trash, but they don't really do the lion's share, especially if, now I'm not talking about you, Moochie, like you and your son, y'all were kind of, y'all a team. But when you are in a house full of boys and girls, like I grew up with my cousins and aunts, uncles, and stuff like that, and the men sat around with their heels kicked up, and the women was doing
that didn't happen in my house.
Of the lion's share of the work.
That didn't happen in my house as a kid. My brother had to walk the dog. He had to mow the lawn. He had to do leaves. And when it was time to do stuff outside, I had to go too. When it's time to shovel snow, we all was out there.
Okay.
So it didn't go like that with me. With the lawn, I used to have to pick up the weeds around the house.
Chime in.
It was a gopher.
In the chat, chime in the comments, chime in the chat. When you were raised, if you were raised in a house of boys and girls, do you think the women, they were raised, we had to be independent, and the boys could or could not, they had a choice of whether or not they were doing whatever? Because this is the way Maurice handles his son, because he thinks that he's just going to get a wife and the wife is going to do all that stuff. So I ain't got to teach you how to wash clothes. I ain't got to teach you how to cook nothing, because you're going to get a girlfriend and she going to do all that.
Wow. He in for a rude awakening.
And he expects Kimmi to do that as well.
I ain't doing all of that. These young girls now is not doing all that. You might find a needle in a haystack that's cooking and stuff like that. These girls want to twerk, make freaking TikToks, do all these little dances, put on makeup. Shoot.
Okay. So why not say it's my son takes out the trash, helps cut the grass, occasional dishwashing, daughter does the dishes, and occasional help with the trash. Okay, so everybody, y'all chime in. I'm gonna read the comments. The women were raised to be wives and do all of the home labor, and the boys took out the trash. That's it. That's my
Wow.
experience as well. That's my
That
experience.
wasn't with me.
I'm not in the South, but I'm on the East Coast. I'm in the DMV. I suspect that Southern men were probably raised more like the men were kind of reared around in my you know. Okay, that's how it was for me growing up. Everything fell on me. But my son, my nephews, nieces, they were raised differently. Okay. I'm hoping people are breaking generational cycles. Just because that's the way it was done, don't mean that that's how it's supposed to be done. So hopefully, we're giving these boys more responsibility where they don't feel handicapped and they can go out and be productive citizens and don't have to worry about women trying to fix their food and wash their clothes and all that stuff. Because he didn't even know when he came over to their house, he had never even washed a load of clothes before.
But you know what? My mother didn't let me touch the washing machine when I was younger. I didn't use the washing
You did
machine.
not. You don't want to break it, do you?
No, we had to fold the clothes, but my mother would not let you turn it. You know how you put it set down and rinse and all start the machine? We couldn't even do all of that because my mother was like, y'all not breaking my washing machine. That's
part.
how it was with us. But
That
with
part.
folding the clothes and taking the stuff out to wash and putting it in the dryer, she might already have set the thing. And then when you go downstairs and do it, you had to you start the machine or something like that.
Okay.
Now it's different. I think my son started washing his clothes because we didn't have a machine. We would go to the laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different. So
Right.
we would just put everything together and I'd go and then we come back and fold everything.
Yeah,
Sometimes he would go.
My
Sometimes
son
he
has
would
been
not.
washing his clothes since he was 10 years old.
Yeah, once I got a machine in the house, the game changed.
Yeah, absolutely. RC says, I'm the youngest of 12 and we all had to put in work. Doing everything. Brothers and sisters all had to pitch in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm glad to hear it, but I know that it wasn't like that with everybody. Like, it's always some, it's never all, but
Okay, so Burbia says, I don't know if you want to highlight his comment. He says, in order to get a traditional man, you have to be a traditional woman, and there's not too many left. Okay.
The son name is Monster for a reason. Listen,
That's his name?
No,
That's his nickname?
That's his nickname. But he's a sweet little boy to me. Like, I have not
seen temper tantrums.
No.
Okay.
No, haven't seen any of that. I have not seen any of that. So
seen some rude kids on reality shows.
Yeah, I don't like it. But that's why I call him Maurice Jr. I call he's a junior of Maurice's. So I call him MJ or Maurice Jr. because I don't like that monster persona. Like, I don't know. It feels weird. It feels
okay. It rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah. You said all your family's from Mississippi. That down south, girl. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. You had to do. Look, if it's snow out there, we all going out there. And the smallest one is the gopher. That means they got to go get stuff. Like when we send you inside to get stuff, you had to get it. That's what I had to do with my father when we was.
I love it.
He'd be like, "Go get that. Go get this out the garage for me. Go get that." And that's what I was. Yeah. And I had to clean the weeds from the side of the house.
Right. And even though RC said that wasn't how it went in his house, he also said that he saw it go the other way as well. So yeah, I understand. Yeah, that Southern teaching is different. I think that there's something there with that whole thing. I don't teach your daughters and nieces and nephew that mentality. Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
I am blessed. I was doing laundry, ironing, and cooking, and at age, I know she was cleaning too. She might as well add that too at 10 years old.
And his parents was born there as well. Is that Mississippi that you were talking about?
Most families I knew of when growing up in the 80s and 90s, everybody did the work. You damn right.
Okay. Well, I'm a 70s baby, almost a 60s baby, so it was a little.
Yeah, but you was growing up in the 80s and 90s. So in the 80s, you was out there probably having to do all the work. Meanwhile, they had their feet up watching the game. Nah, that's not right.
And while we're in the kitchen cooking, learning how to cook at 11, 12 years old. Well, I mean, that's fine. You know, for me, like, I didn't mind it. I actually love to cook, y'all. So
My grandmother and
love.
my dad's side made the girls do everything in the house, and the 6 boys,
It
it
was
was
6
two
boys
girls.
and 2 girls.
Oh, so the boys wasn't doing anything, and the 2 girls was carrying the lump,
It
the bulk of the
happens.
load.
It happens. It happens.
We had more women in the family, so we all did it. Okay.
Okay.
My daughter complained before that do dishes every day was more work. Then I took her out to cut the grass and pick up the branches, and she never complained again. That's some crap my father would do. When you out there and then
I'm
you
gonna
getting
give you
all
something to
itchy and
complain
stuff
about.
on the grass. Oh.
I'm gonna give you something to complain about.
Okay, look at the feminine energy these men that are co-hosting the video we watched. How are you going to teach a man how to be a man? So you think it's too much feminine energy up there, Mr. Jones? I mean, they sided with the woman mostly. I dig what you're saying, but you don't think it's wrong what he did on what he said?
No, he said that he
You don't think it's wrong at all what he said? You don't think it was out of line? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, he already said it clearly. But I didn't
No,
highlight.
he said he apologized. He didn't apologize. He said what he said, and he didn't apologize. He never apologized. Through all this whole conversation, she did more the explaining everything. But what we were looking for was a apology, and even Claudia Jordan pointed that out. So he's standing on what he said, basically.
Yeah.
Kind of.
The whole thing is Suburbia. I understand what you're saying about it can't be undone, but we're here because you already put your foot in your mouth and then you double down on it, and it doesn't make it look any better, if that makes any sense. I know sometimes it doesn't make sense, but I just feel like, yeah, I understood what he was saying that, he said what he said. He couldn't really take it back. And he said he don't feel no differently about the situation. Did y'all hear that or did y'all not hear that? He just said it. He said he didn't feel differently. And you have to understand the context of it. And I was like, what context is he talking about? Your wife still is dealing with cancer, and she still needs you to be empathetic towards what she's going through.
I get it.
Full stop. Full stop.
Wait, who read what partially comment did we read now? Once an evil deed is done, it cannot be undone. So the only thing you can do is apologize and never let it happen again. And then he never apologized. You're right, Suburbia. He hasn't apologized. I feel like he should really give an apology. But he's who he is.
And what he ended up saying is that if he offended his wife or if he offended his children, then he would apologize. But if you taking it, I'm giving it. That's what it sounds like to me. If you gonna sit up here and put up with the bullshit, then I'm gonna keep giving you the bullshit. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like.
Women teach boys too. The host taught me how to backflip. I did teach him. Hi.
Oh my god.
And that's not my son.
All right, you about to go back and listen. Go back and listen.
Yeah, I think that the fact that Kimmi has raised Jalen, and Jalen's doing excellent and amazing right now, is a feather in her cap as far as that she's already been there, done that. We're raising Monster right now, and even though things are different, even with Monster and Jalen, sometimes we still have a difference of opinion, even though I know that she's been successful in raising a young man.
I don't want to belabor a point, but I just can't help but notice, Kimmi, you look very uncomfortable right now.
Me?
Yeah, are you?
No, see, I'm not uncomfortable. What's funny, I guess, to me is that listening to the questions, and sometimes I think that he doesn't always answer the question at hand. And so I'm not uncomfortable at all. But sometimes in my head, I'm like, that's kind of not what she said. Or like, she kind of hit you the ball 2 times and you kind of let it go 2 times.
Mhm.
So I'm not uncomfortable, but in my head, I'm just trying not to interrupt him or guide his answer in another direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to listen to, his response.
I understand what you're saying, Kimmi, woman to woman. I think your husband loves you. It's obvious you love him. There's clearly a disconnect in the communication as a third party looking in. And I'm no expert because I'm not married. You guys are. But I've been in relationships that are similar to this. And my advice would be, Maurice, you don't have to be inside of her to know how she thinks she's your wife. You see her every day. You know when she's sad. You know when something hurts her feelings. And Kimmi, I think you really protect him because there's a public light on you, and I get it. Because you don't want the public coming for your man. You love him. But at the end of the day, you can't fully heal from anything when you're emotionally fucked up. And Maurice, your job is to make sure your wife feels good and, bend over and take it. This would be the perfect opportunity to rephrase it. You don't have to. I've been pushing it. You don't have to. But it would have been nice to hear some kind words to rephrase that. Because if I heard a man say that about me, I'd be fucking horrified. Never met. And she has to already go through so much. And you said it. Your wife is willing to go. I've been with a fine ass man that are beautiful and everything is perfect in our relationship. Not perfect, but things are good in our relationship. But I'm turned off from something small. I couldn't imagine going through chemo and what that feels like. And then having the magnifying glass of a reality show, talking shit. Just be mindful as a couple because it will tear you apart. Been there, done that. I'm not telling you this from someone that hasn't. And I really hope y'all get through this because there is love, obviously. But the communication it's like you guys are going like this,
Wow.
And I don't know if it sounds like talking at each other or not.
So Maurice and Kimmi, we love y'all so much.
I ain't even thank you, TJ. My mother taught me how to do everything: cook, be a hustler, a great earner, and I'm a good man. I appreciate the effort, and I know it wasn't easy. I'm extremely difficult. Thank you, TJ. I love you. Yeah, now that's my son. The other one was the neighbor.
Listen,
He's
shout
like,
out to TJ for that comment.
mm-hmm.
Loved it. And this is her the neighbor, one of her
I
sons.
can't believe he said I'm not inside her. I don't know how she feels. He's just a narcissist, y'all. He wasn't to what? You know what I mean? Some people you can't. I'm not saying give it. I want to say it sounds like I'm making an excuse for this guy, and I don't want to do that. But I'm not feeling him. I'm glad I don't. You know what? Y'all gonna make me come on the show and look. I don't like this. Yeah, I taught my son how to cook so he don't be depending on no girl.
Exactly.
I did. I taught him how to cook. I said, you can't depend on no girl because then you're going to be waiting for. He knew how to, when my son was in college, he knew how to cook spaghetti. He learned how to fry chicken when I was going to work one day. I was like, look, I got to go. You got the rest and you know when to turn it over. And then after that, he was frying it.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, thank you.
Listen.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes people are forced into that thing where you got to sink or swim, and it's either fight or flee. I'm a fighter.
She said you need to binge the show and catch up.
All right. So y'all tell, hey Miss T, she was our go-to person when we was doing Love After Lockup.
Oh, okay.
So
and Yellow Jacket.
When me and Tamika from Tamika's Den, we were reviewing Love After Lockup. She's our go-to person. She was finding us stuff, and she's just awesome.
Yeah,
hey Miss T.
I remember is she the expert for Yellow Jackets too? Because
she was with the Yellow Jackets too. She's a great subscriber, and she gives so much good commentary in the comments. Thank you, Miss T.
We love you. Yes, love you, Mom. I wouldn't be here without you.
Aw.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think Funky Dineva had this one last thing to say. We're gonna get on out of here because we've been here for an hour. We had
I'm
a
surprised
great
he ain't call him out for pussy popping, because that's what he was doing. He might as well have just turned around and tooted up and show it to us. Love it in the cycle, Maurice.
Yeah.
Love it in the cycle, Maurice.
All of y'all in the chat, y'all. This was a great live for me. 38 people in there. Make sure you hit that like, that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to both me and Moochie. She is streaming as well. Okay, so let's see what Funky Dineva gonna end it out with, and then we're gonna keep it moving.
And soulmates, y'all make sure that y'all catch Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturdays, 8-7 Central on. Coming up next, we're putting 2 of our soulmates.
All right.
It comes on tonight.
Yep.
Oh, God. All right. I got to catch up on this now.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might just jump. When does it take? What episode are y'all on now?
Oh, girl. It's like 6 seasons in, though.
I know, because you asked me 3 seasons ago to do this. This was 2 years ago you asked me to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm not even into the... Imagine if I would have did this. We would have been already... Girl.
Right. Hey, EJ. Thanks for coming.
Hi, EJ.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Zia. The lives are always fun. I had a great time.
Okay, season 6. All right, y'all. I can't promise y'all anything, but I will try. If not, I'll be definitely on board for season 7. Is that fair enough? I'll go with that.
Okay, girl, because they ain't changed. Ain't none of them changed. But you do need to get some backstory. I think you can kind of stop it like season 4 and 5. They were just like, but you definitely
watch the first 3 seasons. That's what somebody just told me. Candy Love said that. Hey, Candy.
Yeah, you have to get the backstory because it says a whole lot. You know, these couples, they started in one place and they're at a different place now. And so,
all right,
I would the first 3 seasons was the best seasons. You'll get through that shit so fast because when I tell you the drama was there and popping, so it's gonna be an easy binge. Oh yeah, and then you could just start watching the reunions. You know how they recap like what happened throughout the seasons. That's a good idea, Miss T. Definitely.
All right, look. I got to get a new book, and then we'll get started. Okay.
This was
so
fun.
We rounded it off.
Yeah. So tell us what you're doing for your channel, Moochie.
All right, tonight I'm gonna be on Tamika's channel. We're gonna be playing games. We're gonna be having fun. We got it's trivia tonight on Tamika's Den. And then Sunday, I'm not gonna be able to do anything, but I will be back Monday with Run the World. So keep your notifications on, and tune in with us tonight and have some fun. Come sit in front of your laptop or your phone, get a little drink, and play trivia with us tonight. And we're gonna have some fun at Tamika's Den. Yes. Or you could come through. We all gonna be streaming this simultaneously. So come on through and have a good time with us tonight, huh?
Is that around 10 o'clock?
No, she got it for hold on. Let me tell you the exact time, because homegirl just texted me because Tamika is like on it. She's got it set up. She got it set up already. Which she like, look, what we got to do is press go. I'm gonna give you the time, and you press go when you ready. She's going on at 11. I think it's 11:05. I think. Okay. Yeah, that's the time. Right, Tamika? She's still here. Yeah, it's 11:05. She'll be in.
Okay.
Hey, P Angel.
Yes. Appreciate y'all coming through. I'll be on Pretty Girl Loves Trap content tonight. She is celebrating a milestone.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes, our girl has gotten monetized and all that good stuff. So we are going to go celebrate her tonight at 8:15. You'll see the usual suspects. We may be there for the full time. We may just be popping through, doing a little pop-up. But make sure you join us there. And yeah, so I had a great time today. Thank you, Moochie, for joining me for this. Sorry, Mo couldn't do it with us. She's out in a social life.
She out socializing.
Yes, that's
she having a good time.
Social light.
Momo will be back.
Oh yeah, Miss Kira's going at 10.
Oh yeah, hers is a monetized party too.
The Saturday sip.
Okay, Miss Kira's going at 10, so you going at 11. Okay. Also, Miss Kira's doing something too, y'all. So look,
we got a full night
of entertainment, y'all.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Party.
Let me put up the little outro.
All right.
Yeah.